everyone, welcome to Carol's Universe Tarot Readings from the Heart. Thanks ever so much for joining me on your, it's not a week ahead reading this week. We're doing a kind of 4 weekly reading simply because I started doing the week aheads with Pisces and found, because I'm doing this the Gypsy Tarots, but I found that the energies seem to be spanning a lot further than a week, maybe up to 4 weeks and beyond a little bit. So I decided to do it as a 4-week reading. So we're looking at 18th of March through to the 18th of April. It's kind of just an all-in-one reading, look at a particular subject matter. So for the reading, we are using the This Might Hurt Tarot deck by Isabella Rotman, and we're using for a clarifier deck the Morgan Greer Tarot. Okay, in a tin if we need it. And finally, spiritual advice through the Mystical Wisdom Oracle card deck. Okay, let's start shuffling, guys. Right, the Hierophant. I mean, the Hierophant is about tradition, it's about religion, it's about belief, it's about values, it's about the status quo, it's about government, it's about community. The Hierophant's about commitment, it's about education, it can be about health with the Hierophant. It can also be about the patriarch. I usually see this as the patriarch, or definitely somebody who's the head of a team. For example, this could be like the manager or the boss or the CEO of a company is a Hierophant. This is somebody who is the leader of a group of people as well. What are you feeling about that mentally and emotionally? The Queen of Swords energy, that's how you're feeling mentally and emotionally. You're feeling the Queen of Swords. That's the thing about it. So Queen of Swords is a mental card, right? It's a tricky one in a way with her, because emotionally, if you feel the Queen of Swords emotionally, there might be a certain amount of detachment emotionally with this Queen, because she can cut herself off emotionally with the Queen of Swords, and sometimes she can be feeling hurt as well. This can be a woman who feels hurt by a situation as well. This might be about a marriage for some of you guys, a partnership maybe, or this could be about somebody who has the upper hand, because the Hierophant is somebody who's in a position of power. Mentally, with the Queen of Swords energy, you're quite objective about the situation, I think. I don't think you're subjective, because the Queen of Swords is able to see situations for what they are. She sees clearly, so she's not somebody like a Queen of Cups who internalises, I think, a lot of kind of hurt or even anger. Only for me when she's reversed does she do that. But in the upright, this could be somebody who sees a situation like this Hierophant. She sees what the reason is for it. She can look at a situation to do with this objectively, so she can see kind of the more clinical aspect of the situation. There's no emotion involved, but emotionally she may be cut off. Let's see what the reason is for you guys emotionally, mentally, emotionally feeling the Queen of Swords. Because of the Page of Cups. I think there's a certain amount, Capricorn, of naivety with this card here. All right, I think that's, but also I think that with the Page of Cups energy, it could be about a child, yes, but also the Page of Cups it's sensitivity, yes, and it's naivety, yes, but also the Page of Cups is about kind of just seeing something through the eyes of a child, to be perfectly honest with you. So yeah, there is a certain amount of naivety. So it looks like mentally and emotionally you're approaching this as the Queen of Swords. But that's interesting, because you've got two contrasting cards here. One says that we're seeing things, it's because of, it may be something to do with a child. It may be something to do with a child, because you seem to be quite sterile, mentally and emotionally, connecting to this Hierophant. I'm going to clarify and ask what it means by that Hierophant. I think we need to know what this Hierophant is. What is this Hierophant in 2 cards? What or who is this Hierophant in 2 cards? Because this can be somebody who's in a position of power, and mentally and emotionally, how do you feel about somebody being in a position of power? Well, with the Queen of Swords energy, you'd feel nothing, probably, because there's no emotional connection to this. Because maybe mentally you see this Hierophant as somebody that is necessary. You're looking at this as from an objective kind of standpoint because of the Page of Cups energy. Maybe this is something you've already assimilated yourself to. I don't see any hate here at all. Not with these energies. Let's have a look at what this Hierophant is. It's a Fool. It's the opportunity. It's not an opportunity. It's something new. The Fool. And the Knight, the King of Coins. So it's a Fool. I'm wondering if it's an opportunity for you to take charge of something here. Because it's saying the Hierophant is about a Fool and the King of Coins energy. Could be about a child and a father figure showing here. I don't know. It's an interesting one. Because the base card is the Hierophant. So we have to look at, well, what's the Hierophant? Hierophant can be a marriage. The Hierophant can be commitment. But the Hierophant can also be government. The Hierophant can be a leader, somebody who's in charge. Showing here. But mentally and emotionally, you feel the Queen of Swords towards that Hierophant showing there. Because of the Page of Cups. I don't know whether this is you guys want. We'll have to look further into the story. Because the cards for me don't really explain too much so far. You may want an opportunity to be that Hierophant here. Maybe this is something that you are looking idealistically at. He's an idealist, is the Page of Cups. I don't think this is a child. I think this is something that you're looking idealistically at, Capricorn. Because you feel mentally and emotionally the Queen of Swords. I want to clarify and ask what it means by you feeling mentally and emotionally the Queen of Swords. What do you mean that Capricorn feels mentally and emotionally the Queen of Swords towards this Hierophant in 2 cards? Not unless this is somebody, a marriage or a relationship. You'd be feeling cut off. Maybe there's somebody new here. The 8 of Wands. So something is fleeting here. 8 of Wands. No, the 2 of Swords. Okay, so you feel you're cutting out communication. You've cut yourself off, haven't you? You've actually cut yourself off. Mentally and emotionally, you feel cut off from that Hierophant here because of the Page of Cups. So this is communication or advancement. You've cut yourself off. You're not looking at advancing anything, and you're certainly not looking at communicating this Hierophant. So this may be a marriage, perhaps. The Fool and the King of Coins energy, but the Fool is something new. Is this a new person in your life, for example? Is it about commitment with a new person in your life? You're emotionally and mentally cut off from this. It says you're not interested in contact because of the Page of Cups. Is it because this person's childish, for example? Let's have a look. What do you mean by the Page of Cups in 2 cards? What do you mean by the Page of Cups in 2 cards? Right, the 8 of Swords. And the 9 of Coins. So the 8 of Swords is limitations, and the 9 of Coins is gaining something. It's about limitations in gaining something. Well, what are 9s? What is the gain here with the 9 of Coins energy? Maybe there are limitations in gaining commitment, because the 9 of Coins is to gain, and this is the Hierophant again, commitment. Maybe that you're limited in gaining a commitment. Maybe there's no commitment here. It feels to me, it actually feels to me that there is somebody here. It feels like somebody's immature on the reading. That's what it feels like. It feels to me like you're emotionally and mentally cut off from committing here, and getting serious with someone here. This is a new lover here, I think. This is a new person in here, the Fool and the King of Coins energy. A new person here. You're emotionally and mentally cut off from this new person, committing to this new individual here. All right, and we clarified and we said, what do you mean cut off? You don't want to speak to them. You don't want to communicate with them. You don't want to advance anything either, because the 8 of Wands is advancing. But for me, with the 2 of Swords, she's kind of blocking out the idea of advancing something with this individual here. Probably because with the 8 of Swords energy as well, you cannot see yourself gaining 9 of Coins, a commitment with this person, because the bottom card is about childishness. I actually feel that you've got somebody around you who's quite childish and immature. That's what it feels like to me on the reading, Capricorn. It feels like you've almost, in the mental and emotional, given up the idea of commitment with this person because they're not mature enough to kind of deal with that. What's going on around the personal situation? Well, the situation is about strength. So you can read strength in many a way. I think this might be a love reading in a way, because strength can be overcoming obstacles, but strength can also be the card that says we're trying to suppress somebody's desires, or you're trying to kind of get a handle. Or this is the card about having, you know, having strength and having power over another can be the strength card. What are you experiencing with the strength energy showing here? The Page of Coins. You're experiencing the Page of Coins. Again, another childish card, another child. You're experiencing this Page of Coins in terms of strength. So the situation is all about strength, perhaps gaining power over another, but you're experiencing the Page of Coins. Perhaps learning how to do that with the Page of Coins energy. What's the reason for that? Because of the 4 of Swords energy. What an interesting reading so far. Gaining power is a situation, but you're experiencing learning how to do that with the Page of Coins energy showing here. Learning how to do this because of the Four of Swords energy showing here. There's not much action being taken. Four of Swords. What an interesting reading. Let's have a look further on. Very interesting. I'm still trying to get a grip on what's going on here. I'm going to ask what it means by that Four of Swords. What do you mean by the Four of Swords? Who is the Four of Swords for a start? What do you mean by this Four of Swords? Two cards. Death. And the King of Rods. King of Rods is looking towards death. Death is an ending. The King of Rods is somebody who is successful. They're taking inspired action. So this is the King. He's at the summit of his powers. He's in charge, taking charge. Somebody taking charge. Taking charge of... I don't know what's going on. I'll be honest. I'm a bit flummoxed. Sometimes as a reader you can just get flummoxed by cards. And I'm flummoxed by this because I don't really know what's going on so far in the reading. It's an interesting one so far, but I don't really know what's going on in this reading. I'll be honest. It's very... I mean, I certainly feel in this area here, you've given up on someone here. They're just too childish. There's a lot of immaturity, I think, going on with an individual here. In your personal situation, I think that this is about trying to gain power. Because I think the Lion is that page. Lions go with instinct, and so do children. But this is trying to kind of gain power over somebody here. But you're learning how to do that with the Page of Pentacles energy. Because of the Four of Swords energy showing here. And I'm wondering, we ask, well, and this is the crucial card, what is the Four of Swords? But this can be no action, because death is a no. There's nothing there with death. No, and this is action. There's no action here. But there's no action in what, though? Because this Four of Swords is no action as well. So it's almost like there's no action. Because that you're learning how to take control to gain. So the situation is trying to... It's almost like you're trying to instruct this person here with the Strength energy. But with the Page of Coins, what you're experiencing in with the Page of Coins energy... No, that's not you, is it? You're not learning, that's them. That's where I think I'm going wrong. I think it's them. I think the Page of Coins... They're looking at something. So you're experiencing them as the page. That's what I think. So the situation is all about trying to take control of this person here. It's almost like you're trying to guide them towards becoming much more of a grown-up in the relationship. But you're experiencing instead around this energy somebody who's got very little experience in this. They're just learning. Page of Coins energy. It's almost like this page is looking at the coin like they're looking at the coin like it's never been seen before. So they're learning the craft. It's almost like you're experiencing this person as the page looking at the coin. No, sorry to change my mind again, Capricorn. But I think you're experiencing somebody here who's very superficial. Because the Page of Coins can be somebody who's very superficial. They look at things, like he's got the pentacle in his hand. So he's looking at the pentacle like, it's money. But it's superficial. In other words, what I think it's trying to say is that... Sorry we're taking time to get to this. But what I think it's trying to say is that you've been trying to... It doesn't mean that you're trying to control this person. But I think that you've been trying to... kind of steer this person in a very softly approach, because I think that this person is a little bit of a wild card. They like to do things their own way. But in terms of you doing this, Capricorn, I think that what you've experienced as an end result is this person who doesn't really understand the value. Because the Page of Pentacles, yeah, he can understand the value of things, but he has very little understanding of what the value is. Not until he starts working with it. And that's because of the Four of Swords. You're not, there's no action being taken. Because this can be action, and that's a no. And this is no action. It's because you're not actually seeing them demonstrating anything. You're not seeing any involvement. You're not really seeing them taking any action on this. Or exhibiting anything. So you're trying to teach this person something, but I don't think that you're seeing any kind of action being taken from this person. You know, it's almost like they look at this as if it's something that is superficial, a plaything, something that is, they have very little idea or very little knowledge of this, you know, the value. They don't understand the value of what you've been trying to do in the relationship. Because the page is young and he doesn't really, this is why they've got the coin there. It looks like a nice, pretty thing. That's what the coin looks like to the page. But the page doesn't really understand what the true value is of what's being taught to it. So it's having to learn that, and that's because it's not that, this is why I was confused, because I can see that you're taking action, so why do we have cards representing no action? It must be the person that you're with isn't really taking this seriously. They're not really taking any action. There's no action being taken, because this is a no. There's nothing here with death card, and this is action. So I just think that this person is not taking any action. They're not really showing any advancement, and this is what you're getting tired of. What are you hoping for? Let's have a look. Well, the situation is all about holding on to the relationship, the Four of Coins. What are you hoping concerning around that? The Nine of Coins energy here. Well, I think that in terms of, I mean, they are money cards, of course they are, but I don't think it's a financial thing as such that we're reading on. I think the hope is that if you hold on to, the, you know, the situation, if you are consistent with this situation here, that it's going to pay off with that Nine of Coins energy. And the reason for that is because, right, you've got all coin cards here. But you know, just because you've got coins, it doesn't have to be money. For you, this is kind of like, I'm not saying that you don't love this person. I think you do, because I don't think you would be putting as much effort into them if you didn't, Capricorn. But for you, it's more, it's not a business transaction, but it's almost becoming more business-like in terms of the tone of the reading, because you've got all these pentacles. And actually, you know, Capricorn, though you're a Taurus, which is you know, which is Queen of Coins, this is you as well, King of Coins energy, because of the King of Coins. So you want it to pay off because of the King of Coins energy. No, we wouldn't say it's because of a person, the King of Coins. Maybe you want to settle down, because the King of Coins is settling down in a love reading, which I think this is. Can you see how comfortable he is? He's got his wine, he's got his pentacle, you know, he's got his little, whatever this is, looks like more like a ram than a bull. But he wants to settle down, he wants to get comfortable. And I think it's because you want to settle down. And also there is a need to accomplish all the hard work. You want this to pay off. Two cards showing hard work paying off, a Nine of Coins and King of Coins. So you want to carry on doing this. You are remaining persistent. And your hopes are, if I remain persistent, if I carry on with this Four of Coins energy, my hope would be that this would pay off. Probably as well with the King of Coins, because you've invested a lot into it with the King of Coins. And the King of Coins, when he invests into anything, work, business, whatever it is, relationship, he definitely wants to pay off. He doesn't like to fail. So you've invested a lot and you want it to pay off. What are you expecting though? Let's have a look. Well, the situation is about the Eight of Swords energy. Confusion, powerlessness, negative thoughts, Eight of Swords energy showing here. What are you expecting concerning that Eight of Swords energy? You're expecting the Nine of Cups. Probably you're expecting to put a brave face on things. Because the Nine of Cups can be just putting a brave face on, or things just turning out for the best. What's the reason for that? Because of the King of Wands showing there again. Success is the King of Wands. So brave face on things. Things turning out for the best. So you're expecting that if things do get hard with the Eight of Swords energy, okay, or maybe if this person refuses to learn with the Eight of Swords showing here, because with the Eight of Swords energy, this person seems to be surrounded by swords, ideas, negative. This is also a card about a resistance as well. So maybe the situation is about this person's resistance to change, possibly. You're still expecting the Nine of Cups energy for it to be a good outcome because of the King of Wands energy. It's going to happen. It's going to be a success. It's going to pay off. Because these cards, they just talk about things paying off, things being a success. King of Wands is success. King of Pentacles is success. All of those kings represent success. You're expecting this to work. You're expecting this to work. So I don't know what this is here. I think mentally, I think deep down, I think this is in your subconscious probably in this area here. We're going to go back over it again. What is it you can't see coming in? Well, the situation is all about the Ten of Cups fulfillment. What are you expecting? Sorry, what is it you can't see coming in? The Three of Wands energy. Somebody looking away, looking outside of it. What's the reason for that? The Magician. It's an interesting reading, this is, actually. So what you can't see is the situation is the Ten of Cups, the relationship. What you can't see around that relationship is I think somebody's talking to someone else. I think this person is reaching out to other people because they're a magician. I think they've put an illusion up. I really do. I know it's a weird reading, but I think that there's somebody here that you're fighting for, or you want to fight for, but I don't think that they're being real with you at all. I think you want to try and teach them. I think you want to try and guide them into being something that you want them to be. Capricorn, but I think that to all intents and purposes this person is far too much of a free spirit, because the situation is about your relationship, the Ten of Cups energy. Well, what you can't see coming in is that this person is probably, or what you can't see is that this person is probably contacting, communicating, reaching out to others with the Three of Wands, because they're a magician, they're an illusionist, they're a manipulator, they're a bit of a liar as well with that magician energy there. So I don't think that this person is being completely real with you or honest. I'll be honest on that. All right. What's happening then around the 18th to the 30th of April? Well, the situation is the Chariot taking charge. What is happening around that? What's coming in around that Chariot energy? The Sun. So happiness, success with the Chariot, with the Sun energy. And what's the reason for that? Well, you guys seem to be building something together. The Ten of Coins. Feels like your hard work is complete here. It's paying off with the Ten of Coins energy, which is interesting. The overall outcome around this. Right, you got another Queen. That's you there. The Queen of Coins, Capricorn. That's you. So this is all about you attaining through hard work. What's the overall outcome around that? There, we've got the Five of Wands energy. So worries, clashes perhaps. What's the reason for that? This person taking a step back, I think, to review, or it's you taking a step back to review the situation. What I'm seeing here, it's a really crazy reading as far as I'm concerned, but I think this is love. I really do. I think it is. I mean, it could be it could be a child that you've got a lot of love for as well. There could be a child here. There could be something about having problems with a kid. Some of you guys might be having problems with a kid, but also I think you've got problems with either a younger lover or somebody who is immature. That's what I'm getting here. Because in your mental and emotional, the situation, I think, is about a commitment here. And this is a new lover for me, a new relationship with this King of Coins energy showing here. So the Fool is new, and then we've got this King. So it just looks like it's about a new person here that you're committing to. But I feel mentally and emotionally, you're kind of being very kind of objective about this thing. And I don't think that you're connecting emotionally with this person. Mentally and emotionally. Emotionally, I think you're not necessarily connecting to an idea of a commitment with this person here. And mentally, you may be looking at things objectively concerning this person here. Because this is all about kind of you saying, I don't really want to advance anything. I don't want to move anything too quickly with this person. So it might not be that you're cutting this person off, but you may be saying objectively in this area here, with the Two of Swords meaning don't as well, and the Eight of Wands is advancement, you may say, actually, I'm going to be really kind of objective here, and I'm going to be a little bit hard-ass and clinical about the whole thing, and I'm not going to move anything too quickly along just yet, because this person, Page of Cups energy, is a bit of a child. You know, it's about kind of you saying, I can't see myself gaining anything through a commitment, or gaining, you know, a commitment with this person. You know, or gaining anything through a commitment with this person, because they seem to be quite immature. So I just feel that there's somebody here, and I'll be honest with you, I just think, because a Queen of Swords tends to question, I think that you're questioning, mentally and emotionally, you're questioning someone here. Because in your personal life, what I think is going on is that you have tried to, I don't think you've tried to overpower this person, but I certainly feel that you've tried to kind of be very assertive with this individual here. All right, you've tried to kind of guide this person, because the Strength card is all about a softly approach with an individual here. So I certainly feel that you've tried to softly guide this person in how you are as an individual and how you like things being done. But I feel that what you've experienced concerning this is somebody who looks at, can you see how he's looking at the coin? Somebody who looks at this like it's, not like it's a game, but like they don't know what they're doing, or like they've never done it before, because he's inexperienced. But also what you're experiencing in terms of how you've tried to softly guide someone in the relationship. Whether it's your child or a kid, or whether it's a lover who's immature or a lover who's younger. I think that in terms of you trying to softly approach, okay, to God, because it's almost like with the Strength card, your strength and they're the lion. And, you can see Strength is trying to tame this lion. So I think that the situation is that you've been trying to tame this person's instincts to go off and do whatever it is that they do. But I feel that what you've experienced is the Page of Swords, Page of Coins energy. And actually, thinking about it now, I think there's two things. I think if I read it like that and I say that you've been trying to tame this person's natural instincts as a person to go off and do whatever they want, what you've been experiencing is either that this person with this Page of Coins energy doesn't really understand the value of what you've been trying to do. They have very little understanding of what that value is, or it's a case of that you've experienced the need maybe to look at this and to kind of read it and kind of learn about it a little bit more, about what you're doing. Because for some of you guys, if it's about you learning about your actions and what you're doing and where they could lead, maybe this is because it's saying to you, now is not the time to kind of be too forceful with it. So basically no action. Now is not the time to be too forceful with this person. Maybe I need to back off a little bit. And for some of you guys, it may be that you're experiencing someone who has very little value or understands very little of what the value is of what you're doing, because they're not really advancing forward. You can't see any changes in them. They're still acting the same. There's no action here being taken with those three cards. Your hopes would be, I think, to hold on in there with the Four of Coins energy, because your hopes would be if you did that, you would basically gain with the Nine of Coins energy, because I think that you've invested a lot in this and you want the payoff. But I feel that what you're expecting as well is that, even if things with the Eight of Swords energy get really frustrating and tough, that with the Nine of Cups energy, you're just going to keep on going. You're going to keep on kind of just, putting on the brave face. You're going to keep on going because you believe, again, with the King of Swords energy, King of Wands, that this is going to be a success. It's going to pay off. So it's almost like a little bit of a, it's almost like a little bit of a project or something like that. It's really weird how it is with you and this person. But I think that you're saying, if I keep on going, I mean, it could be anything. It could be your son, it could be your daughter, maybe you're having problems with a kid, or it could be a lover or whatever, whoever, a friend, whatever. But your idea, Capricorn, is to keep on going because it's going to pay off in the end. I think what you can't see coming in is that the situation about kind of this paying off, in the end, what you're going to find is that with the Three of Wands energy, this may be that you're actually waiting. So thinking about it that way, that Ten of Cups is the payoff as well, because it's a 10. So the situation where you think, if I just remain consistent, if I just carry on kind of just fighting for this person, fighting for this thing, if I carry on doing it with the Ten of Cups, my if the focus is on there being the payoff, Ten of Cups energy, then what you don't know that could be coming in and you'll have no control over it is that you may still be waiting here with the Three of Wands energy showing here. Because with the Magician energy, and the way that I'll read that actually, is that it may take time for all of the pieces to come together. Remember, the Magician is just at the start. Can you see how all these cups and things are swirling around this person? He's kind of just generating that energy, and it takes time sometimes for the energy to align. So it may be that you're still waiting for things to come together, because you're going to have to wait for those energies to align and for things really to come together in their own time and space. However, I think by the 18th to the 30th of April, something like that, the situation is all about success and victory. And what you'd experience is the Sun. Well, yeah, you'll start to see some traction, some movement in the right direction, because I think with the Ten of Coins, you're accomplishing something now with this individual with the Ten of Coins. However, the overall outcome will be that though you are gaining in the situation with the Queen of Coins energy, the overall outcome is still going to be that there's going to be conflict and worry and anxiety here, because I feel that it's either you or this person that's still going to kind of be taking a step back to review certain things. All right, still taking a step back to review certain things. Also, it's a number 7 as well. You've got certain amounts of success, but not everything. Not everything. So I certainly don't feel that the story is over. This feels to me like it's an absolute process, whatever this is for you, and you can kind of just, attribute it to whatever's going on with you. But it just feels like it's a real process that you're going through with this person, and it's not going to be all done and dusted. It's not going to be all done and dusted in one day. You know, it's not going to be done and dusted in a week or even 4 weeks. This process, according to these cards here, is ongoing and ongoing and ongoing. And it's mainly to do with that this person is quite, I think this person is probably quite immature. And I think that what's happening here for some of you Capricorns is you're trying to teach someone to be how you want them to be. But the thing is, they are the lion here, and you're trying to tame them into something that you want them to be. All right, only to discover that, you know, you're going to have to learn a lot more about this, but also that this person doesn't really understand the true value of what's going on in the relationship, because half of the time they're sleepwalking through it. Four of Swords energy showing there. They're not, and when I say sleepwalking through it with the Four of Swords, they're not actually taking any significant action to show you that they are advancing and that they are kind of, you know, becoming the person. But the thing is, the problem is this person isn't a robot either. So it's going to be really hard for you to kind of get this person to be the exact kind of person that you want them to be. I'm not saying that you're being controlling, Capricorn, but I certainly feel that you've got someone in your life, for some of you guys, that you want them to be a certain way, whether it's your son, whether it's your daughter, whether it's your lover, whether it's your friend, whoever it is. I think there's somebody in your life that you want them to be a certain way. All right. And also you may be waiting, because as the Magician energy, this person has full autonomy on who they are. All right. This may be as well with the Fool and the King of Pentacles. This may not necessarily be a new person. This may be just somebody who has a mind of their own. You know, this is a freedom-seeking individual. Somebody who's very, because it's ruled by Aquarius is the Fool. And the King is ruled by, which is Taurus. Energy showing here. All right. So this person is free of this energy as well. You know, so when we look at the first card saying that the focus is on maybe a commitment and tradition, this person is free of that. All right, this person probably with the Fool and the King of Coins doesn't necessarily adhere to societal values or how things should be done in a certain way in whatever the relationship is. They like to do their own thing and maybe do things in their own way, and that might be something that you have to adhere to, or you're going to be waiting a while before you get them to kind of be the type of person that you want them to be. Let's have a quick look at what the advice is on this reading. What is the advice for Capricorn on this reading? What is the advice for Capricorn on this reading in one card, please? Archangel Raphael, provider of healing for mind, body and spirit. We're going to have a quick look in the booklet and just see what the Archangel Raphael is. Let's have a look. Right, Archangel Raphael. So, here we go. Right, so he is one of God's holy angels whose role is to minister to God and his people. Raphael, which means God heals, bestows divine healing and miracles to people and animals upon the earth. For those of you who want to become healers, doctors and care workers, it is comforting to know that you have an almighty angel ready and waiting to be of service. Summon Raphael to your side if you are in need of healing and support. He encourages you to surrender negative thoughts and replace them with forgiveness and love, as this will encourage your recovery and honour you with inner peace. Okay? Alright, that I know is a bit of a tricky reading, but that's how I was seeing it anyway. That's your reading, Capricorn. Take care. Bye.